they are delivering 0%. So we thought that at least we should start sharing our knowledge. So we have started this college2industry.com. So it is under development phase. So tomorrow, if you'll see after a few weeks, so it will be in total new phase. So let me show you my screen, and then we will discuss about this course. So me and Sumit both have trained more than 300 plus students around the global platforms, right? I have trained students in the US, UK, and India, Australia, Bangladesh people, Pakistanis, Indian also support, of course. So we have around 2 plus years experience in training, and with this website, I have 6 months working. So this is being developed, and totally it will be in new picture after some days. So let me start with the slide source.
Your voice is very low.
Voice is low. Voice is low. Now it's okay. It's for everyone or one or two person.
Yeah, audio is clear.
Okay, thank you. So let me share my screen, my PPTs. Okay. So this is our pattern. For first 20 students, we charge 999. And now everybody knows from past 6 months we have working in same pattern. So in last 6 months, everybody got to know about the college to industry, me and Sumit also. So this is fixed for first 20 students. So the charges are 999, and then before induction completion, means before today 12 p.m. it will be 999, and then it will be 1499. After that it will be on 1700, around 1800. Okay, so these are our course features. 30 plus assignments you will be getting, and of course I will be showing you in Google Classroom with my previous students, that we will show you those assignments where those are uploaded, how can you get those assignments, because we think that the most important part of any course is those assignments, because I have seen in many courses people offer and they charge around 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 rupees, but they don't provide any practice assignment, and the notes they provide already available in Google platform. Multiple websites are there to browse on. You can pick notes from there, but assignments is basically designed for the practice purpose. These assignments are related to real time concepts only, so that you can practice related to those real concepts, right? So means whatever real time requirements in the project, so as per our experience we have designed in a way that you can practice real time things. And the recording of each session, suppose you, in case you missed any session, and or you busy in some day, then every session will be recorded and it will be provided to you through private mode in YouTube, right? So once you provide me any email ID, that using that email ID you will view that video. Mock interviews, this feature is actually restricted for the people who will complete assignments. So to be very frank, if in my 200 students it's not possible to interview everyone, but I have seen that 10 to 15 students only at least try to complete the assignments. Those will be applicable for the mock interviews. So currently, Sumit is mock interviewing around 5 to 6 people in this upcoming Friday. So in my previous batches. So job assistance for deserving candidates. So we have a very vast relationship with the multiple companies, multiple people who are working there. So any requirement comes into the company, they directly interact with me in a separate platform and says, as I have this vacancy in my company, can you refer anyone? So you must knowing that referring program is offered by the companies, and the company provide them a nominal amount for referring if that candidate is selected. So they are doing for their benefits and I am doing for your benefits. Certification after project completion means once you complete your project within the given timeline, it will be 2 weeks after the course completion. Then you will be certified by a registered company. But if you miss the timeline, 1 or 2 days is okay. But if you miss by 1 month, then it will be not provided, right? So these two things are restricted. I want to make you sure in demo session only that tomorrow any of you guys will come and say that sir, you have promised the but you're not providing us the assignment or not providing the certification or mock interview facility. So be frank, it these things are restricted, right? Because we pay to the company, we don't charge you, right? So that's why if you are doing something for you, of course we will be helping in that place. Bi-weekly Sunday doubt session. So in every month there will be two doubt session for your batch, your relevant batch. If suppose you are in weekday batch, Monday, Wednesday, Friday batch, then we will have a doubt session on Sunday. And for the weekend batch, we can solve their queries on same day because weekend class is for 2 hours. So half an hour can be after this session after 6 p.m. We can organize half an hour for solving your doubts, right? And we have did it many times and the students are very happy with this, right? Of course, you have a Google Classroom platform. If you don't want to join any live session, you want to ask your queries. So me and Sumit are here to solve your queries. You can post question, relevant screenshots you need to provide. We'll check that and we'll check your code and let you know that this is the error you need to fix in that way, right? Of course, you can ask the same question in live. In my last session, one person asked, "Sir, I am not able to complete this assignment." I said that let's try and let me know. But he another person asked same query. So what I did, I made that session only doubt session. Now today I will solve only. But these type of things actually will ask you to practice because in if you do your assignment by your own, you will learn, right? Two plus real-time projects. So one project I will give to you. One project I will say that explore and I will provide the links, multiple links. One is enough. In 2 weeks timeline you need to complete that, and then after if you complete that and you ask sir I need one more for practice, then we will provide that. One is compulsory for everyone. Second is not compulsory but certificate. If you want, then you need to complete at least one. Google Classroom account for doubt solving, FB discussion forum. So our FB group is very popular now. Oh yeah, I got remember. Sumit, okay, let's do it later. So these are the features of this course, and these are some screenshot of the uh, that assignments uploaded on Google Classroom. I will show you in live Google Classroom as well. These are some private videos uploaded of this session, Java videos that I promised that I will provide you before Selenium course start, so that you guys can refer Java videos and whatever Java is required. This video covers all those things. If you complete this, you need not to go anywhere for learning Java for Selenium purpose, right? And from here we'll start what is Selenium and Selenium components, introduction to Selenium WebDriver, installing Selenium WebDriver. Means software needs first be complete in day one. In half an hour before starting any session, we'll provide you the softwares that you need to download. If you have already downloaded in your machine, that then it's okay. If you have not downloaded, we will provide you that software, so you need to download. Then first theoretically we'll understand why we need of the Selenium, what was the restrictions with the manual testing, how we, and then we will talk about some previous versions of the automation testing tools, right? So then we will move to Selenium so that you can understand why Selenium WebDriver is so popular nowadays compared to other frameworks, right? In web automation, if you talk about, right? And I think Sumit need to confirm whosoever is coming. And this is your, and then these most important things like ID, name, link test. These are the Selenium locator. Suppose you want to go anywhere, so you need to address it. That you need address for reaching those locations, right? So Selenium locators are same. So we will spend lot of time to understand this concept, because if you understand this concept, these basic things, then I can promise that Selenium is very easy, right? First 2 week will be key weeks, and we will focus a lot, right? So we are tools, and of course this will be done with the Chrome console, Chrome dev tools, as well as we will training on some tools. These are new, some introduce some new tools. And Sumit, are we having sessions? Are we confirmed that we are free on that day?
Yes, Vandan.
Okay, so Sanjay is also free, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Same day.
Actually, yeah, we have to have one guest session with all of our students with Sanjay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me introduce. Actually, guys, Sanjay Kumar is the author and creator of these Selector 7 CrowPath plugins. So these plugins are very useful. So we are actually having a guest session with the Sanjay. It's a really honor for us to have a guest session with him. So we will. It doesn't matter you join our course or not. We will have a guest session with this Sanjay, and we'll invite you if you want to come and join that guest session, because uh, in our lifetime, very few moments we get opportunities to work with these peoples, right? So that's why we are organizing a guest session with the Sanjay. He will explain about these tools, and before going to this tool, we are trying to take his time. Okay. So handling web elements, great. If I compare to other courses, it is very bad to compare with other people's other courses, other syllabus, but still I will do that to let you know, to make you understand that you need to be very careful before opting any course, because training is something different, but what is being trained and what the syllabus is being covered is really important, right? If I talk about the drop downs only, the web elements, if you go to and browse any website to automate, you will see drop down, auto suggestive, dynamic suggestion, normal HTML drop downs. But people will train you only HTML drop down and complete their syllabus as soon as possible, and right, but we are completing everything in syllabus, right? So that from day 2, if you given any project to work on, you can directly start working that, okay, this concept I know how to handle this particular web element, right? So we'll try our best to cover each and everything. Suppose something new feature come tomorrow,
Hi, Vandan.
so we,
Sorry to interrupt you. Actually, few people are having some volume issue. Is everyone facing the same issue? His voice is clear?
Yes, for me it's clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yes, it's fine.
now it's clear. Hello.
Yeah, audible.
Maybe guys, sometimes internet issues in your side, because actually I am using fiber connection, so I think the internet connection not be the issue here. And then we will start TestNG tool, right? So I can promise guys, uh, doesn't matter guys join our course or not, but I can promise, if you learn the TestNG from us, right? If you opt our course and this tool you learn from us, Then after learning this course, you browse any website over internet. You will understand what that concept is actually, right? Because I have also explored multiple blogs of in Google, multiple tutorials I have seen in YouTube, multiple things I have purchased also and seen in before 3 or 4 years ago, right? But whatever I learned, I just learned by working, right? So means whatever the concept was explained in the tutorials was not sufficient, right? You will stuck in flow. What flow this program is will learn of the test ng, I can promise you. But once we will complete this topic, then that flow will not make a problem for you, and you will answer. We taught in a teach in a way, just like I will write a web session and ask you that what will be the output, and you will answer that output after explanation. That I am pretty sure. So that's why we will teach in a way not to complete that as a task. We will actually involve you to answer your the query in the lab session, right? So that will be also handled. Sorry. And then Maven tool will be starting, because in real-time projects this tool is really important. And no program can be in live project without this Maven, right? So we will be covering in very depth, running from the console as well, and Eclipse IDE, of course. And then 2 days training on Jenkins. So I want to confirm here, whatever Jenkins is required for QA part, only that part will be covered. Means because actually Jenkins is itself a large tool. So in last batch, what happened? People expect that Jenkins full flash training will be there. No, whatever QA is required, plus one from that, right? Means full Jenkins training, if you'll give, then it will be 1.5 month separate training, right? So, but the QA part will be covered, like setting up the project with Jenkins, setting with the build in autorun, setting up Maven commands in Jenkins, handling Jenkins for automation, managing build through Jenkins, support new things comes, new updates comes, then how will you manage, right? And for QA, only this much is required. Else anything you run, that will not benefit you in job change, I can guarantee, because you are from QA profile, right? So release tool this is. So you don't need to go on deeper in this. If you want to go deeper on any topic, go on coding, not in Jenkins. And then 3 weeks training on framework development, integrating all these tools, right? So from TestNG, we will cover TestNG separately. Page object model, we will cover page object model separately. Maven, we will cover separately. Database, we will cover separately. Extent reports, we will cover separately. Then we will merge these two. So after this, you will have a mock interview 3, and then anybody answer those queries will be eligible for other things, right? So the beneficial that I told you, right? And then it will be GitHub training, so that you can download any you can upload your code and show me your project. Sir, I have did this. uh, Guys, give me a 10-second pause. I think Sumit, can you cover till then? I'll share this slide. I think someone is on door. I live alone, that's why. Sumit.
Yeah, sure, Vandan. You can. Okay, so till now, everyone have any kind of doubt or regarding the course can ask from me. I can answer any query if you have.
Hey, hi, Yogesh here.
Yeah, hi.
So my query is regarding the duration,
Yeah.
that is for the weekend batch and weekdays batch.
So, okay. So talking about the weekday and weekend batches, so duration will be approx 6 to 7 weeks for both the weekend and weekday batch. So yeah, that is the duration.
Okay, and it will be started. Weekdays will be starting from.
Yeah, so the batch is starting from 14th December. So on 14th, I think the day is Monday, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
so weekday batch will be like 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And after that, in the if I talk about weekend batch, so weekend batch will be starting from 19. So 19 is Saturday. So 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah, I'm back. Thank
Okay,
you.
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, Bandhan.
And
Sorry guys,
and
actually I live alone and my doodh wala came, so that's why I need to go to the door. So this is about project automating a real-time automation website. It will be around 10 days. 10 days mean 2 weeks, 5 days working, right? So 10 days, and then team size will be 5 to minimum 3. If you want to do it alone, you are free. But that's such a large scale project. If you do it alone, you will won't able to complete it within given timeline, right? Okay, so this is from my side about the course content. Of course, if I talk about the course content, yeah, this is the link, right? Anytime you can access this. This website will be very soon. This website will be very, these are some email feedbacks, right? So people does normally what they do, uh, that just 5 star, 2 star, these are, you can check that these are actually live feedbacks, right? So nothing is fake over here. Even Facebook poll I have created, and you can see, if I zoom it, you guys can see that, are you satisfied with your course as of now? It was around 2 months completed. Then 21 people voted yes, and one person voted no, right? I don't know what was the reason, but he has his own choice. He's put it no, right? And I also given here, everybody please vote. And of course this learn automation testing group is growing from that day, and this is live platform to pay from here, right? So as I promised, now I will cover the array list topic here. So before that, Sumit, if you want to say anything, if you want to ask, anybody want to ask anything about the course.
Yeah, please ask.
yes, so one question from my end is regarding the Java basics and Java concept, because we are moving to Selenium. So for that, Java basics should be
Yeah, yeah.
knowing.
So are
So
you?
regarding that,
Yeah. Okay.
what should be the things?
have we have all the Java class live recordings of Java from 2 batches. So if you once you will enroll, I will share your link on the YouTube, so you can have access of all the Java recordings. So you can watch from basic to advanced. So till collection part, we have all the Java recordings.
Okay, so before enroll to Selenium or start with Selenium, I
Yeah,
need to go through with those.
yeah, yeah. At least you should know the basic, right? So you can go at your own pace as you want. So if
Okay,
you
cool.
face any difficulty while learning Java, so you can ask us in the classroom, right? So there we will be try to solve your query.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay.
And I'm using MacBook, so is there any different kind of settings or something I need to perform other than desktop or laptop?
Yeah, okay. I will inform you about that. If you are using another rather than Windows, so I will help you in setting up Eclipse IDE on that as well. No issue.
Which
Okay.
operating system you are using?
I'm using MacBook, so Mac I'm
Yeah.
using. I'm not using Windows.
So
So
that's not a problem. You can directly download from the Oracle website. That will not be a problem, I think.
cool. Okay, thanks. Because I thought that somewhere some of the issues which I came across regarding that Chrome driver installation and all. So regarding that, I thought that is there any some additional configurations we need to perform?
No, no, no. You don't need to do that. Whatever software needs, I will first let you ready for that, and then we'll start the course.
Okay, thanks, thanks. Yeah, and what about these Selenium sessions? Are these sessions recorded or how it should be? Means
Yes.
if sometimes it should be missed, then how it will be?
Every session will be recorded. It's no chance to miss recording, right? You will remind me, sir, are you recording this session? That's okay for me. Otherwise, I just start first recording and then start the session. In case any session missed, then you can join. Suppose you are in weekdays batch, but somehow technical issues may be there, and somehow I missed that recording, voice was not proper. So in that case, you can either refer the weekend batch recording. Suppose you are in weekday batch, then you can refer the weekend batch recording, or you can join that live session of that weekend batch also, right? In case you miss any topic, and if you want to join the weekend batch for that particular session, then you will be allowed for that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so I think that I should start RLS tutorials. Okay, guys. Where is the pen? Think I has the pen. Okay, so here is more. Okay, let's start from the Eclipse. Actually, whole day in office was working, so I forgot to check all these things.
I just wanted to make sure that are you going to record this session and share with us, or how it is?
Actually, I am not recording this session.
Yeah, I am recording. No issue. We'll share.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay.
See, guys, actually I missed my pen, or usually I write here, so that ball pen is missing somewhere. So I will just start here. Okay. Before starting anything, we should know that why we are using this particular thing. Now, anybody can ask, sir, to store data, we have the array. Then why we use the array list, right? Then what may be the answer for that? That array can store only homogeneous data type, right? Means if you are storing integer value in array, then you can store only integer values. Like you declare array like this, right? How we declare array? Because we are going to use the array list, then first we need to understand the drawbacks of the array. Otherwise, if same thing is done by the array list, then why we are not going for the array only, right? So here you will declare array like this. Suppose you have a given size 5. Now what will happen? You can store only 5 integer values in this array, right? This is one of the limitation of the array, that you can store only homogeneous data type, right? Okay. Second, size is limited, that I let you know, right? But these things are actually theoretical, right? These things are theoretical. Theoretical means if you want to answer in interview, these things are sufficient. But if you are working in real time, then you need to have very clear understanding about that topic, right? See, what happens with array? Array can store only limited size, but in runtime, array list can store unlimited data, right? If something is benefit with the array list, of course there will be something negative. That's why that is beneficial, right? Then what will be the negative point over there? That I will tell you. See, what happens with array lists? Let me declare any array list first for you, and then I will tell you. Then this in real time, if you're working, this point will help you to choose between array and array list, because storing data can be done with any the array list or array. Then which should you choose? Which should your manager should suggest? Then this point will help you really. What happens with the array list? Import arraylist.java.util, right? See, I am only telling you benefit here. In the recording that you will get of live course, more explanations are here, right? So suppose I added one a list dot add method for adding any value in array, right? But when you add anything in array list, you can see this add method is adding what? Object, right? Now remember this point, I will explain it. First add any point. Suppose I added Sumit, right? Now suppose let me copy this and paste Sumit, Vandan, Aditya and Rahul and Modi, right? Suppose I have added these 5 values, right? Then what will happen? Tomorrow one more person comes. Then similar in dynamic way, this is actually hard coded values that I am adding. In dynamic way, you will get values from user, right? So suppose tomorrow I am adding one more value. By default, array list size is 10, right? So I'm not going to that much deeper. So once 10 size is completed, suppose this size 10 is completed, right? Now suppose what will happen? One more time I have add another value. This is 11th, right? So what will happen in background? Doesn't matter how many values you can add here, right? Because this is runtime memory creation in array list, right? Dynamic. You cannot change the size of array, but you can in array list you can create a memory in dynamic, right? Means runtime, as much as memory you want, array list will provide you, right? So, but I have added 10 values. Tomorrow 11th value came, right? So in background, what will happen? These all 10 values, Sumit, Vandan, Aditya, Rahul, Modi, Sumit, whatever the values are, different values, will be copied to a new array list. In background, in heap memory, there will be a new array list created. All these 10 values will be copied to that particular new array list, and then this 11th value will be added to that new array list. For adding one value, the 10 element was deleted copies to new element, and previous array list was available for garbage collection. Now new one is applicable for you. Suppose there are 1 lakh student in any university project, and one more student comes. For adding that particular one more student, 1 lakh student data was copied to new array list, and then new student was added to that new array list, and then previous one was available for garbage collection. This will make a problem. And what is that problem? That will slow down the execution of the program. If the program execution will be slowed down, then your performance of the system also will be slowing down. In that case, if suppose you are going to browse Facebook, you are logging with Facebook, and Facebook is taking 5 minutes to log you in the home page, then will you ever use that Facebook? No, you just use because of their performance, right? So that's why array list performance is not better than array, right? But what is the restriction with the array? You cannot allocate size of, suppose you have 1 lakh student but your array size was 5, so 99,000 students cannot enroll in your array list in your university, right? So you need to go to your program, you need to change the size of array, then maintenance cost will be there. In that case, that array will not be working. So where the performance is concerned, use array. Where the memory is concerned, use array list, right? Because suppose you assume that 1 lakh student may be coming inside your university, but only 5-10 students are coming, and you have created size 1 lakh of students, array size 1 lakh, then that much size was wasted. So memory concerned, then use array list. Performance concerned, use array. This is about array. This is one way, right, to understand how the array list and array, between these I can choose, right? The second thing is that now I have added these values in array list, right? Okay, if you want to remove any element from this list, first let's print this list. Let's see how this list will be printed. For printing anything in Java, you have system.out.println method, and shortcut you can, how can you use this? Out control space, it will automatically write you system.out.println, right? And here suppose I am printing this a list, just print this a list, right? Right click and run your program, right? Sumit, Vandan, Aditya and Rahul is printed. Once I printed a list, Sumit, Vandan, Rahul, and these are printed, values printed. But see, what is this? What is this brackets? Should I get value like this? No. This is actually printing object. Why? Because I told you to remember here. A list dot add. What it adds? Object. That's why it, once you are printing, then it is printing on object format, right? So now how I get values from it? Let's see. How you print array? Suppose this was your array, right? And now if I say the third index value I want with you, so array indexing starts from 0. So how you declare values in array? st0, right? So if I say to get any value from the array, then how will you get? You will get like this, st0. Similar here, but here you will have a method to get that particular index. Suppose I say to get this Aditya value, so array list indexing also starts from 0, 0, 1, 2. So Aditya is in what index? To second index, right? So here I will give 2, right? And I will print this. Not, sorry, a list dot get method is there for getting any value from this, and here I will give. What is this get method for? This get method is for getting index value from the array list, right? So this is a list variable here, dot get and provide the index, just like you do in array, st0, but here you need to use get method. If I will print that, then Aditya will be printed. Okay, now if you say, if you want that, sir, I want to print all these values, then of course there are two methods to print them. There one method is to for method, but for method will ask you the size of array, because here you know the 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So let's do it first, hard coded, int I is equal to 0, and then in between anybody want to ask any query, then you are free to ask, right? And then I is less than how many values? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So 4 values starting from 0, so it should be less than 4. So it will run till 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. So run 4 times, right? And I plus plus, right? As of now, I am using hard coded size, right? Then I will let you know how to use the size method to getting size, right? Now just use this sysout a list dot get. Now what should I give inside this get method? Because first I want to print 0 index, then first index, then second index, then third index. So I value will be keep changing. I hope here, I expect here everybody knows about the for loop concept, right? If not, then also not to worry. In our course, in our videos, everything is there. For loop explanation is also there, right? How it works, even much deeper in for loop as well, right? So means some points you may knowing, you may not be knowing. I don't know how many people are aware about that high level concept of for loop, but of course there is a video and the live lectures covered in this, so that you can refer for loop also there. Here I will give why, because first time I value 0, it will print Sumit. Second time I value, it will increment by 1, it will print get 1. Get 1 is what? 1. Then in this way it will print all values. Sumit, Vandan, Aditya, Rahul, all printed, right? This is normal for loop, but here I am giving size in what way? Hard coded. It should be dynamic. How I will make it dynamic? Use this object dot size method is there to count your size of the array, right? It will calculate the size of this array list, right? And here, just like array has length method to calculate the size, array list has size method to calculate the size. I will print, and then it will print 4, because size of array list is what? 4. And please don't be confused between this 4 and indexing starts from 0, right? Because size is always whatever the value, number of values will it have, right? So this is about that. So this thing I can give here as well inside this for loop. Now what will it will return? It is returning actually 4. So of course here 4 is written, 0, 1, 2, 3 it will run, because it is less than I will run it, right? Now same thing printed. So for loop is now dynamic. Till here anybody has any problem? Otherwise I will explain the for each loop. Okay, so for each loop is what? See, first you need to understand the shortcut FORE and then control space. Okay, now what is created? Object. Now we'll think that why this object is here, why not string is here, why not integer is here? Because string value present, and now let me add any integer value as well, because I said that array list can add any data type. So let's add the integer, right? Now if I will create again, let's delete it, and FORE and control space. Then why object is here, why not string, why not integer, right? Because compiler is so smart. Compiler actually understand that array list can add any type of value, right? So if array list can add any type of value, who can control all his childs? Father can restrict everyone, right? Any child. So object class can absorb any kind of value, right? That's why here object is there, right? If string was there, only string was restricted in array list, I provide generics to it, I will come to that. Then here string is okay, let me print these values from the for each loop, then I will come to that, right? Just use this and this object. So I will also explain this for each loop here. First let's print the values, right? Sumit 101, Vandan, Aditya, Rahul, everything is printed, right? 5 values added, 5 values printed. Now see, this is array list object. Array list object will copy one by one to this object. First it will copy Sumit to this object, then this array list will copy 101 to this object. One by one this will copy all 5 values, and I am printing what? Object. So first time Sumit copied, then it came inside, it printed this. Here you not need to worry about the size of the array, right? Internally for each loop doing that for you, right? Internally this code is written over there, you don't need to worry for, right? But suppose I comment this, suppose I give string here, right? Now you're getting error here because you have provided generics, means you can string on you can add only string values in array list, right? Now see error, the method add int the type array list string is not applicable for argument integer. Means you are trying to add the integer values, but you said that this array list is only for the string values. Now you are adding this, no, it's error. Either remove this generics from here or comment this line or remove this line, right? So what I did, I don't need to remove this line, because I want to understand this. Previously if I was writing string here, see error, type mismatch cannot convert to element type object to string, right? But I have only string values. Why it's saying like this? Because it knows that array list can add any type of values. Now it's not added, but maybe tomorrow it will add any new integer type, double type, float type value. So that's why it is preventing it to add any type. Now if I provide generics to it, it will understand that okay, now it's only what type? Now it's only string type. So string is allowed here. Error is gone. Now I change actually object to here. So now we need to print it. Now it's okay. Now if the array list is kind of string, then string is allowed here. Tomorrow if you class type array list you create, class type is allowed here. But you are not sure about the return type. You are not sure about the array list type, what type of value you add in your class or object, then you need to use father. Father is what? Object, right? So these things are very much explained in all that recordings. So these will all clear your doubts, all clear your concepts. So this is about some, if you want to remove any element from the array list, there is a remove method, right? So here I am printing. Suppose I want to remove this Vandan. So Vandan is what index? Vandan is in first index 0 and 1. A list dot remove 1. Now if I will print this list, then Vandan will not be here, right? Vandan is not here, right? This line was commented, so don't expect this. Sumit, Vandan, Adit and Rahul, then only Sumit, Adit and Rahul is here because Vandan is removed, of course, right? If I talk about class type array list, let's quickly do it. Here I will have a student, and student will, I am very fast in flow because I have some time limitations. I have meeting at 9 with some other person, so that's why but in live session this is covered very in 3 or 4 classes, right? So let's write int student id string student name, right? And here we need to create a constructor.
Your screen is not visible. Sorry to interrupt you, but your screen is not visible. Can you please share your screen?
Are you joining from mobile?
Yes.
Okay, you must have switched over the screen.
Okay.
Okay, so else everybody must be able to see the screen, right? You can join again.
Okay.
Okay, right click source, and then here you need to you generate constructor, right? Constructor concept is a different concept, right? That is also covered in very depth in the Java sessions, Java recordings. But here I am doing this, just ignore this what I am doing, because constructor will be explained over there, right? And this I have did, right? Now I am creating class type of arrays. So what this class type, I want to add a student. Student will have student ID, student will have student name, right? And of course student will have student roll number, means ID, whatever, right? So let's do student ID. Okay, and then I will come here and inside array list, and what I can do, I can create this array list of type what, student. Now just like you are adding the primitive types in array list, now you can add object also, right? Internally these primitive types were converted into object, that doesn't matter. But now you can suppose you want to add student name, roll number, will you add like a list dot add student name, a list dot add a roll number? How will you relate it, right? That's why you have declared a type, means student class what contains student ID, student name, right? Everything you want to give, means student course, suppose string course, right? So here again go to source and generate, not generate setter getter, source and the constructors using fields and this, right? So let's remove this one. Now here you declared like this, right? Now you need to add what, I am removing this code, garbage, is it looking like garbage? Okay, now I will add student here, a list dot add method is for adding any element object, right? So there is a long way also, but a long way will help you to understand. First let me create a student object, student 1 is equal to new student, and then how many parameters this constructor is asking? 3. Student ID, name and course. ID is integer, name is string, course is string. So ID is 101, name is Sumit, and course is automation training, right? And then let me copy this same line again and change the object name only, student 2 and Vandan automation testing tools, right? And then these two students object created, right? How many object of student? 2. Now I want to add this object into my array list. So a list dot add, and student 1 I will add to here. This student is added to my array list, right? Then a list dot add, student 2 is also added in my array list. Now if I want to print my student, sys out, and this a list I will print, because this a list can have all 2 students, right? So but this will print in what format? Hash code format. So how I will convert it? See, this is first student, this is second student. Previously this was not coming, I was printing a list, but previously it was printing in big brackets, Vandan, Sumita, and this, that way that was printing, right? Let me show you. Right? Previously if I was printing like this, a list and just remove this. Previously it was printing like this, right? Means I was printing a list and it was printing like this. Because what? Because I was adding actually single values, right? But here, if I switch to that code again, here this is actually object and this is also object. I am adding actually in object. Previously I was adding value and that was converted into object, and here object is converted into a different object, right? So that is converted in actually what format? Hash code format. So you need to override either the, just go here, just go and override either the string. So what to string does, one by value, one by one, it is actually invoking the values, right? If you don't want to do this, you can generate your setters. First let's run this, right? So this way it is printed. If you want to don't want to override this method, then you can do one thing. You can generate your own setter getters here from here, or you can do one thing, you can just write your own methods also, right? So setters and getters, setters for setting the values and getters for getting the values. Now generated. Now here I have what need to do, dot get this out. I will print from for each loop, right? Now FORE control space. Now see what type created, not object type. It's student type created. Why? Because I have mentioned type student here. If I have not mentioned this student type here, object type was created. This is the power of the Eclipse IDE, right? So if I will print this out, student. So first is printed, and if I want to get student ID, and just like this, I want to get student name, because this setters method I have created, right? Setters, I have not set it up the values, so this is no worthy here. If you want to delete this, just select the only getters from there. If you don't want to use this, because we don't have any use over here, we will use this setters method once we will create a scanner class and giving values from console. Then we will need of setters, right? Currently we don't need here. Student dot get course, right? Now let's run it. This 101 Sumit, 101 Vandan, because I have given 101 here, let's give 102 so you can see that. Or if you are printing don't want to give println every time, to give printing one student, then you will print a space. Here you need to give any space so that there will be spacing between all values. Okay, so let's run it. Now you see 101 Sumit automation testing, 102 Vandan automation testing. If you will add one more student, then it will be done. Now what is the shortcut here? Let's quickly do it. Ls dot add new student, and then suppose let me copy these values and okay, I will explain this. Let's run it. 103 need to give here, or values you can see we whatever. Let's run it. Right, you can check. Okay, so this is about adding elements into array list, removing everything, right? Now this is the way to decide how, when should we use the array, when we should use the array list, how to define array list, how to use array list, how to use, right? Because in real time these things needed, right? Anybody has any doubt over here can ask. Yeah, of course. This I need to explain. What is the student one, student two? How many object you will create tomorrow? Thousand of student coming. That's why this I am creating object inside add method. In runtime, from console when you are doing, do it in same way. So create object inside add method. So what it will do internally, it will call this student and it will add the student into your array list because you are using inside add method, right? So these all things are explained in very proper way, right? In less flow because I have time limit today. So this is from my side. Anybody has any query, then ask me.
So just one question I have, that let's say if suppose I just walk through with the Java sessions which you are going to record, sessions share. Okay, but if I have a doubt in between those sessions, then how should we reach out?
First watch that recording, right? So after every session you will have a assignment, right? So if you are coming with doubts, so bi-weekly we have doubt sessions also. In weekday batch, in weekend batch you can ask ask your doubt after the live class and just after the live class. And of course we have Google Classroom platform, WhatsApp group, different WhatsApp group. So not only I will be helping you, not only Sumit will be helping you, you guys will be helping you each other as well. Because sometimes the problems are coming from very basic, anybody can solve them. But of course we have doubt session for solving your doubts.
Okay, and that is for Java as well, right?
Yeah, of course, but that should be come from assignment, right? Means if you are not practicing anything and just you are coming with doubts, then simply means if you are doing something, we will help you there.
Okay. Yep. Thanks a lot.
And one thing I want to make you sure, guys, that the offer is genuine. You can check from anywhere. We are working from 2 years. So if you say that after 10 days when offer expires or give me offer, it will not happen, right? So whatever we say, we admit that. So means for first 20 students, 10 already enrolled. For first 10, 20 students, this offer we have.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you for attending. Sumit, you want to say something?
Yeah, no, Vandan, I think you have covered everything. No, nothing from my side.
Okay, guys. So thank you for attending today's sessions.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks everyone. Bye.